For our next recipe today, we're going to cook one of my all-time favourite ingredients, which is wild venison. And this is what we call the tenderloin, or the loin, the true fillet of this fallow deer. Okay, fallow deer is the middling sized one. Gives us a proper sized tenderloin. This is like the fillet of beef in a cow. Only I think it's infinitely superior, incredibly good flavour, very simple to cook. So to do this, I'm simply going to chop my tenderloin in half, and if you can see how absolutely beautiful that meat is there, really, really delicious, gorgeous. Got to be really careful with this. You can overcook it in a heartbeat. It's got no fat in it, unlike fillets of beef, so we can ruin it, we can dry it out if we overcook it. To that end, the technique we're going to do, we're going to season it, put it in a bowl. It's already had a little bit of fresh thyme and olive oil on it. We're going to put salt on it now. Okay, a good pinch of salt will help to draw a little bit of moisture out of it. There we are. Can you grind some pepper in there, please, Dave? Lots and lots of pepper. That's plenty. And then I am going to grate some garlic. That's great, thanks, Dave. I'm going to grate some garlic on one of these graters straight into it. But I'm not going to use too much. That's it. Plenty. And then rosemary, wonderful flavours. I'm going to take some rosemary spears, just strip the leaves off them, just pop that there, like so, and run the knife through them. Okay. I want these to sort of be chopped fine enough that they'll stick to our loin and scent it while it cooks. We're going to do this two ways. We're going to use the smoker as a vehicle. I love a big Bradley smoker here. We're going to use it as a vehicle for putting the smoke flavour into the meat, because it not only smokes the meat but it also roasts it. At the moment, we can see on the temperature gauge it's up to sort of 75 degrees centigrade. Now 75 degrees is enough just to help set the proteins in the meat, and it will turn it a wonderful pink colour and it'll warm it, but we don't want to cook it. We just want it to warm through and allow the smoke to get through it. Okay, so we're going to take our rosemary, sprinkle it nicely all over, and then put some really nice olive oil with it. Okay, here's some lovely, good quality French extra virgin olive oil. Can you give it a good rub for me, Dave, please? Got a seriously hot pan with a little bit of oil in it. Do you see how hot that is? What I'm trying to do now is sear the outside of this meat, almost like we're doing a carpaccio, okay? But we are, of course, going to smoke it. Nice. Lovely. I don't even need to put it back on the stove because it's going to put some beautiful colour on there. Right. Count to about 10. Beautiful. Turn that over. Give it a quick blast on the heat. I'll drain off any excess oil there. Give it a quick blast back on the heat there. Only take a second. That's that. That's our tenderloin of venison become. Yep. Ready to go into the smoker. I could easily let that cool down a little bit, carve it right now, and it would be absolutely beautiful as carpaccio. Raw venison, slightly warmed with a nice crust on the outside. However, let's have a look at our wonderful smoker here. As I open the door, you'll see it's full of smoke. Temperature's nearly 80. Look. There we go. That's what we want. I'm going to sit these straight on here. Let's have a look inside it while we've got the door open. We've got the racks to put the meat or the fish on. We've got a little thing here which is like a conveyor belt for the smoked chippings. And that has got a heat plate at the end of it which ignites the chippings and makes them smoke. Underneath there's a bowl of water to catch the ash. Also here there's a drip tray, so anything dripping down there gets funneled through the hole and into that pot of water. Nice, clean, simple system. If I turn the heating element at the back off, which is here, then I'm left with a relatively cold smoke, which is what we're doing now. Okay, our venison's had about 10 minutes at 80 degrees, so I think it should be just right. Oh, it's beautiful. We'll take it out, lay it on a nice board for carving. For the time being, let's just have a look. If I feel this, I can feel it's very, very moist. It smells sublime. And what we're going to do, just washed our hands because we don't have to use our hands. We're going to get a nice rectangular plate. You can find me one of those, Dave. Yeah. And we're going to have a look at how it looks when it's carved. So just turn it face on. Oh, look at that. Sublime, absolutely beautiful. Soft, beautiful. The knife barely goes through it, just like that. How is it? Got a good smoke to it?
Yeah, really nice smoke.
Just the right amount.
It's warm as well.
And yet it's sweet on the outside, the salt's there. I'm just going to put a bit on here. Sure. Carve this. Now, word of warning, when you let this cool down, the smoke will keep penetrating over the following days. It'll get greyer and darker. It's still delicious to eat, doesn't look as pretty, but has a more intense smoke flavour. So it's down to you. Take a bit off here. Beautiful venisons are soft. It's so soft. I mean, this is the thing about. Yeah, I'm going to lay it very neatly. Here, along here. So, like so. And then to serve with this, I love this stuff. This is amazing. This is piccalilli. It's homemade piccalilli. Essentially just pickled cucumber and gherkin and a little bit of chili, and we use cauliflower. Very, very simply done with mustard, okay, and vinegar. So we're going to put a nice pile on the end of our piccalilli. It's not remotely like the stuff you buy in jars. This stuff is crunchy and tangy and offsets the richness of the venison. And then at the other end, I've got some homemade marrow chutney here. It's been marinating for ages. Just going to plonk a bit down the other end here. Beautiful, like so. Take some lovely crusty bread. Can you just cut me some of that, please, Dave? Here's a knife. Nice chunk of bread. Have some lovely butter to go with it, like so. Oh, that's it. Cut them into little pieces. And cut enough bread so that you've got sort of a piece for each. And I like to serve this just with a lovely slab of that beautiful smoked venison. Nice bit of piccalilli, maybe a bit of chutney. Straight on our bread, thank you. We'll just sit the bread down the side of the plate, like so. Very ploughmanish and rustic and hearty, but I'll tell you, absolutely delicious, wonderful to eat, and incredibly easy to do.